Hi everyone, I'm Christine from Yoga Berry. Today I've got a little practice for you which I've recorded for a client, somebody I've done an online yoga session with, and she's a little girl, she's 12 years old, she's got scoliosis, she's got a right thoracolumbar curve. So if this is your curve pattern, if you're a similar age group, you might enjoy this. So this practice is especially good for teenagers, for young people who maybe are not suffering from pain just yet, but they need to strengthen the body. So important at that age to make sure that you're building up upper body strength. So I really hope you enjoy this practice. If you haven't done so already, feel free to join my Facebook group, Yoga for Scoliosis Community, where you find lots of support, lots of people who are going through the same thing as you, lots of practice videos. So very good place to find some motivation and some inspiration. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know if you've got any questions, any comments. Give me a thumbs up. It really means a lot to me. So let's get started with this little practice video. So let's get going. We're going to start with a breathing exercise. So I'm going to use my pillow here, and we're going to have the pillow in between the feet and have the knees so that they're hip distance apart. So if this is uncomfortable for you, you can always sit on a chair, but I think you'll be all right with this. We're going to lengthen up through the spine. Just roll your shoulders just a couple of times and then just let them drop off the collarbones here. So really open chest, proud chest, and then close your eyes for a moment. Just rest your hands on the legs. Just starting to bring your awareness inwards into the body. So in yoga, we're always breathing in and out through the nose. Long inhale and long exhale. So every inhale, imagine you're growing a little bit taller. And every exhale, you're just letting the shoulders drop, just letting any tension, any negativity, any worries melt away. So every inhale, thinking positive. Every exhale, letting go of anything negative, anything you don't want. Just for a few breaths. And then just start to bring your awareness to your upper back. So the back of the lungs. And see if there's one side where the breath might move a little bit more easy, and maybe different areas where the breath gets a little bit stuck. So chances are, because you have a right thoracolumbar curve, that there's more space on the right side, that you feel a little bit more openness at the back of the right side. So see if you can really direct your breath into the back of the left lungs. So really sending the breath, every inhale, into the back of the lungs. And if you're finding this a little bit tricky, you can always ask your mum or any other family member just to put their hand onto the back of the lungs, so back of the rib cage on the left side. This is where you want to direct your breath. It's a really good breathing exercise. Really good if you're feeling maybe a little bit stressed, or if you're feeling anxious, if you have a lot going on. If you're feeling slightly out of balance, Just coming back to this breathing exercise. So staying here for another few breaths, obviously as long as it feels comfortable for you, but see if you can really start to bring this into your day-to-day life, at least a couple of minutes a day. Good, and then slowly open the eyes. So before you start your physical practice, it's really, really good to tune into the breath, to become aware of anything that is going on in the body. Good, so we're going to start strengthening the body. That's really, really important, especially for your age. So I'm going to put this pillow away and we're going to come to all fours. So bring the hands directly underneath the shoulders and the knees directly underneath the hips. And then from there, just have an adult just correct you, or just giving you some guidance on this. So you don't want the head to be dropping down, and you don't want the head to be coming up this way. So you want to look down, back of the neck stays long, and then slightly lifting up through the back of the neck, slightly lifting up through the chest. So the lower back should be in a neutral position, meaning that it's not rounded and it's not dropping down like this. So somewhere in between, and you can always tilt your pelvis backwards and forwards and then find that neutral place. So this feels good for me. I'm sliding the shoulder blades down at the back. And let's start with the arms. So on the next inhale, just slowly with control, lifting the right arm just in line with the rest of the body. On the inhale, on the exhale, slowly bringing the hand back. See that my back doesn't move very much. Inhale, lifting the left arm just in line with the rest of the body. Exhale, slowly bringing it back. Good. So we're going to try and do 5 on each side. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Good. So continuing with this. Now, if you find that one side feels completely different from the other, so if you feel that your right side is a lot weaker than the left side, what you do is you're going to do 2 on the right. 1, 2 with the breath. Obviously that was too fast. Inhale, 1 on the left. But you have to decide. So if you're not sure, do both sides equally. If there's one side that feels really, really difficult, that's the one that you need to work on a little bit more. Good, so let's try the legs. So inhale, we're going to lift the right leg just in line with the rest of the body. Exhale, slowly bringing it back. This is a little bit more tricky. Inhale, lifting the left. Exhale, slowly bringing it back. So again, if you find that there is a big difference, you do your weaker side twice and the stronger side once. I suspect that it's probably fairly even for you, but you have to see what feels right for you. So inhale to lift. Notice that my pelvis doesn't tip. My pelvis stays really stable. So I'm not tipping over like this. That's cheating. We just want to lift it in line with the rest of the body. Again, we're going to do 5 on each side. Obviously, if you're doing twice on one side, then you have to do a little bit more. So this is the second part. Start with this. So if you do this a few days and you feel that you're getting stronger, you can try opposite arm and leg. So inhale, we're going to lift the left arm and the right leg. Exhale, slowly bringing it back. Right side, right arm, left leg. Inhale. Exhale to bring it back. So again, it's very likely that this one, the right arm, left leg, is more difficult for you. So again, what you can do is you do twice on that side. You do one on the other side. So let's do it. 1, 2, and then 1 on the other side. Again, if it feels even already, then you just do inhale, exhale, release, other side, inhale, and exhale, release. Good. So this is a really, really good exercise to start to strengthen the back muscles. The next pose that we're going to do is plank pose. So that's a little bit more tricky, and I'll show you 2 variations because there is quite a lot of pressure onto the hands and onto the wrists. I don't want you to get sore wrists until we build up a little bit more strength. So we need the strength in the arms and in the fingers. So the fingers have to work really hard. So I'll give you 2 options that you can do. So first option, full plank pose, would have the hands again directly underneath the shoulders, knees gonna start directly underneath the hips, and then extend one leg, extend the other leg. So toes tucked under. I'm not sinking down in my hips like this, and I'm not in a downward dog. I'm in a plank. So one straight line from the crown of the head, lifting the back of the neck to the heels. And then we're going to breathe. So see if you can hold this for 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. 3 more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale, exhale. Good. Bringing the knees down and then resting in child's pose. So sending the hips all the way back, resting the forehead on the ground. Just allowing for the shoulders to relax. Good. Slowly bringing yourself up. So this is hard. This is a difficult pose. So start with the first one. Do your best with the plank. If you can't hold it for 5 breaths, you hold it for 2 breaths, maybe even just 1 breath. If your wrists are starting to get sore, I don't want you to push through it. We need your hands to be working. So if it's getting too much, you just come onto your forearms. So same thing, elbows directly underneath the shoulders, hands down, and then extending one leg, extending the other leg. Again, trying 5 breaths, trying to hold it here. Make sure you don't sink down through the hips and you're not up too high through there. So 1 straight line. And then when you've done those, bring the knees down, coming back into child's pose. So child's pose, there's 2 variations, either the arms forward or the arms alongside the body, resting the forehead down. This is nice to release the shoulders. So always take at least a minute or so in child's pose before you do anything else. So you really want to allow for the breath to return to normal. You want to allow for the shoulders to relax. So just giving yourself a little bit of time in between the poses. So make sure you're not rushing through it. If you don't have much time, again, the most important thing is the side plank, which we're going to do now, just to review. I know you already know how to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway and show you again another variation in case the wrist gets a little bit sore. So side plank, we talked about this. Obviously, if the thoracolumbar curve is going to the right, so these ribs are spread, the muscles are long, they can't contract, they are weak. On the other side, they are contracted. They're not necessarily healthy because actually they need to lengthen a little bit more. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're strong, but these ones are definitely weak. So we only want to do side plank on the right side for a right thoracolumbar curve. So right hand comes down to the floor, and then come to the inner edge of the left foot. This is how I start normally. Extend the bottom leg. So option 1 is to bring the feet in front of each other. I know you don't need to do this. You're strong enough to stack the feet on top of each other, lifting up through the hip. So make sure you don't collapse here. Lifting up, lifting away. These muscles should be working. Lifting the top arm. Hold it for as long as you can. And then coming back into your child's pose. So this is your option 1 for plank pose. Option 2, side plank pose. Option 2, similar to plank pose, you're going to have the elbow down. So again, I'm starting on the inner edge of the foot. Extend the bottom leg, stack the top foot on top. You can either just bring the hand onto the waist or lifting the top arm up. Keep breathing, stay here for as long as you can, and then coming down, coming into child's pose. Good. So this is a lot of work. It's a short practice, but it's quite intense. So make sure if you have time, we're going to rest in Shavasana. So I always say this is the most important pose. And for scoliosis, I like to use a blanket. So I'm going to use my blanket. And I'm going to cover my mat with this. So this is for my upper body. I also like to use an eye pillow. You could just have a scarf, for example, covering your eyes. Make sure that you're somewhere undisturbed. Make sure that someone doesn't want anything from you or needs you to go somewhere. Just make sure you have a little bit of time, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, whatever time you've got. Your body will thank you for it. So lying on your back. So I am with the back of the hips onto the mat, onto the blanket. The head is resting. Better not to have anything obviously in your hair. So you're as comfortable as possible. And then extend your legs. So before you start to relax, just bring your awareness to your back. So there will be parts of your back that are in firmer contact with the floor than others. So for your right thoracolumbar curve, chances are that the right side feels like it's more in touch with the floor than the left side. The left side, you might feel a little bit of a gap. The hips, just need to check. They might feel even. Maybe you're feeling that you're rolling onto one side more than the other. So the good thing about the blanket is that you can use this to make it really comfortable. So what I like to do, this is not moving from side to side, but use it just to stuff around. So the hips into the lower back a little bit, stuffing those gaps, especially here on the left side. If that feels uncomfortable, you can lift the right side to drop the left side, or you can just stuff it out. But it needs to feel comfortable for you. It doesn't matter about what I say, right or left, or anything like that. You need to feel comfortable. And then, where's my eye pillow? You put your eye pillow on, or your scarf to cover your eyes. Have the palms facing up towards the ceiling. So this allows for the front of the shoulders to open. Take 3 or 4 deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. allowing for your feet to relax. Relax your ankles. Relax your knees. Relax your thighs. Relax your hips. Relax your belly, the chest, just allowing for the front of the body melt into the back body. Relaxing the shoulders. Relax the arms, the hands, the fingers. Relaxing the face, the eyes, back of the head, and the top of the head. The whole body is completely relaxed. Just enjoying that peacefulness, enjoying a little bit of stillness in the body for the next few minutes. When you're ready to come out of relaxation, just slowly starting to move your fingers and your toes. When you're ready to move, just bend your knees. Bring the knees in towards the chest, just rocking from side to side. Removing your eye pillow. And then roll yourself over to the side. Stay lying on the side for another couple of breaths. And then slowly coming up into sitting. Good. So I hope you enjoyed this little practice, and let me know if you've got any questions. I'm there to help, and I'm wishing you all the best with it.